Good evening. We'll call the council meeting in order. Please rise. Pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all our military personnel that are serving. Thank you.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune published the notice along with the Star Ledger on January 10, 2025. A copy was posted on the municipal bulletin board. It should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson. Councilman Bauer.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan. Here. Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilman Harris.
Here.
Vice President McAuliffe.
Here.
And President Spiller.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from October 7, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we will start with letter A, which is repealing Chapter 7 entitled Traffic of the revised ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge, and this is with regards to introducing an ordinance that will allow the police director to temporarily suspend parking permits in required areas during certain construction projects. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading in the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is an ordinance repealing Chapter 7, a section of Chapter 7 entitled Traffic, and this is with regards to vehicles over certain weights excluded from certain streets. I just want to remind you, this is a housekeeping change made at the request of the New Jersey Department of Transportation. With that said, could I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only. There are no comments from the public. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And letter C is an ordinance authorizing the lease of property at 585 Main Street in Woodbridge. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C.
Hello, Mr. President. Ken Gardner, 101 Scoter Avenue, Woodbridge. Can you just tell me the purpose of this lease and who we are leasing to?
This is a lease agreement between the township and the Woodbridge Wolfpack Hockey Club for them to use a portion of the club classroom for hockey, not
Okay.
hockey purposes, for educational purposes.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the public on letter C only? There are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We will take letters D, E, F, and G as first reading ordinances, that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on October 24, 2025, with notice of public hearing to be held on November 10, 2025 at 6 p.m. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And finally, Mr. President, you have resolutions before you listed as numbers 1 through 13 inclusive. Can I get a motion to approve those by consent?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mitch, I'll be abstaining from number 13.
So
Mr.
noted.
Mr. Mitchell, I'll be abstaining from number 13.
So noted. Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. We'll now go to the public comment portion of the meeting. When approaching the microphone, please state your name, what section of the township or state you live in. You'll have a one-time opportunity to speak. All members of the audience shall adhere to the township's decorum ordinance, which is posted on the entrance door to council chambers. The public session allows for 5 minutes. This includes remarks by the speaker and any response by the council president or administration. When there's 1 minute left, I will alert to the speaker as to emphasize any remaining points or questions. When the 5-minute period is passed, all speakers are to leave the microphone, please, and return to their chairs. All videotaping must be taken in the designated area. The public session portion of the meeting is a comment and/or Q&A interaction between the council president and speaker. The council president presides over the council meeting. Thank you. No one needs to touch the microphone. It's all set, so thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Marge Petro, Woodbridge.
Evening.
Well, I'm here for TNR as usual, and I want to thank the mayor today for meeting with me. We had a wonderful conversation, and I would also like to bring to light.
Marge, I'm sorry. Can you just get a little closer to the, thank you.
Okay. Close, oh, okay, good. We had a very nice meeting today, and I wanted to bring to light TNR as usual. Our group, Woodbridge Animal Society, we're a small group. So far, we've TNR 268 cats, and we have another TNR day on Monday, which I'd like to invite the whole council if you want to stop by from 7 to like 5 o'clock. It's at a private residence at Avenel. And I wanted to ask, and I did ask the mayor this, I wanted to ask if the TNR band, if it would be a possibility to have them come and do TNR once or twice so you could see what it's like on the township property. He said he had to check that out. And also, money's always an issue. We have yard sales, we're having a turkey trade, and out of our own pockets, a lot of the money comes. So I brought up to the mayor about possibly a grant. It wouldn't be associated with the township, but if he knew someone who could help us write a grant for funds for TNR. And he said he was going to look into that.
Mr. President, yes, March had quite a good meeting today. We do have a grant writer. We are willing to help Marge and the WAS, the Woodbridge Animal Society, write a grant. It wouldn't be a township grant because if we got money from a grant, we can't spend it without requirements and bidding and things like that. So you don't want us to get a grant for you that we can't give to you because someone else can do the same thing cheaper. So we will help you. We'll first research if we can find places that have grants. And if you find places that have grants, let us know, and we're happy to help. We have a grant writer who's outstanding. She's helping the Board of Ed right now and just doing an amazing job. In fact, she's right behind me. So we're happy to do that. As for the vehicle, we think that can work. We think we can allow your TNR vehicle to come to a town event like the health fair or perhaps a concert. I don't know all the details yet. It would have to be, the vet would have to be licensed and insured. The vehicle would have to be licensed and insured. I can't give you a blanket yes because we have to go through a few things to be sure. You're protected, we're protected, the vet's protected. But sure, we'll work with you on that too.
Well, I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for starting to work with us. That's all we're asking for. And great, that'll be very important. I'm still looking. It's tough, you know. There's a lot of grants out there, you know, to do. But we're happy that we can borrow your grant.
I can assure you she knows what she's doing.
Exactly. And I'm all talking to it, so I appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marge. Two quick things. As I said 2 meetings ago, on behalf of my council mates, I want to thank you and your team for all your dedicated work. If you can do what you normally do, send Mr. Mitch the information on that date in Avenel. I know the house. I can tell the rest of the council mates if they're available, and we can attend this Monday. Thank you.
It's like everybody being there. Stop by.
Thank you.
Gail Rosmersky, Islin. I don't have a lot to say. I'm a nurse, so needless to say, I don't like to see anything suffer. I don't like to see people suffer. I don't like to see animals suffer. And what people don't realize too with this TNR, these people are donating their time, their money. They're there before work, they're there at night after work, And not only is it TNR, but they're helping with injured animals, lost animals. There's so much more that goes into this group that people don't know. These are good people with the kindness of their heart. If we could help them in any way that we can. I know several years ago, I'm old, but several years ago, there was a very nice young man by the name of Austin working with the Animal Society here. And he and some of the girls that he was working with, they were wonderful. They helped out so many people. People don't realize that, you know, if you spay or neuter one cat, that cat's not going to reproduce anymore. But if you have one female cat that's still reproducing, by the end of the year, you've got hundreds of cats running around the township. Not only is it not fair to the animals, but it's not fair to the people. It's a health issue. And anything we can do to control that, I mean, we're not going to eliminate feral cats or feral dogs or anything completely, but whatever we can do to help, would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening? Can you step up to the mic, Dan?
Okay. Hi, I'm Danielle Jackson, and I'm one of the volunteers on Marge's team. And we've trapped, just since I've been doing this with her, gosh, I personally have trapped probably 40 cats maybe since we've been doing this. And a lot of times we are able to get young kittens and we put them up for adoption. We socialize them. Marge's group funds all of the veterinary care. You know, we spay and neuter them. We give them the shots. We socialize them. We adopt them. So we make a lot of families happy in the process. And also, Gail had spoken about public health. One of the things that our vet does is she gives all of these cats a rabies vaccine, which protects them, and it also protects the public. You know, you never know if a cat gets bitten by a raccoon, you know, and they come down with rabies. It helps to control the situation and keep, you know, the outdoors a lot safer for the public as well. So it's a public health issue. It's a compassion issue, and really, I'm excited to be at this meeting to hear about, you know, we're going to have cooperation. It's really exciting. I think we can do great things together for the township and for the animals. So thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, Josh from Avenel. I have a piece of property behind my property. It's owned by Rising Up, and right next to it is a hotel. Last year, I had to call the cops 3 times because residents of the hotel entered this area, started fighting, and so my question is, can someone place a security fence around it to prevent them from going into this area? A couple of years back, they tagged fences along, there's like 4 houses that are adjacent to this property. So that's one issue I would like to see.
Right. Just so we're all on the same page, I know exactly. You said Rising Up and a motel establishment. Rising Up the building on St. George Avenue or another piece of property they own along Route 1?
They own the property on Route 1.
All right, so you're talking about that. So what we can do is, I know the area. I can forward it off to the mayor and administration and have the respective
Just to-
department go out.
And the same property, last year a big storm came, no lie, a branch fell off this tree. It's kind of leaning towards Route 1. For preventive measures, I think maybe they could trim it, because if it does fall over, they're going to have a hassle on Route 1.
Okay.
And the third thing, right at the corner of Dunkin' Donuts,
There's a couple of them, sir.
right on Route 1.
Okay.
Right before this property, there's water coming out of.
I don't mean to cut you. I know exactly.
It's been like a month and a half that I see.
Well, it's an ongoing issue with Middlesex Water. They've been out there. We're aware of it, but they're working in the area.
So it is-
As soon as you
you're
turn
aware.
off onto Tappan Street, right by Bubba Coos. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've called it in. They've been out there. They're just having issues with that line right there. But that is the water company. They are aware, and they've been out, and they'll probably be back out.
So as far as the fence, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Will do.
Council President, we'll make Middlesex Water.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Good evening. Mary Patel, 538 Alice Place, Woodbridge. I would like to take a moment to speak on behalf of Councilwoman Sharon McCullough and all that she has done for the community of Woodbridge. No matter the circumstances, Sharon always shows up. She constantly supports those in her ward and beyond, giving to families in need, whether it's people who are faced with a fire or ensuring that families go with food. There are many families that she has approached that weren't getting the food that they needed. Sharon goes beyond and above for the residents of Woodbridge. She also plays a vital and active role in our schools, making sure the students have what they need to succeed. She is deeply committed to giving back and supporting the children of our community. Sharon is a dedicated, selfless leader who always answers the call to serve. She is not a public servant, but also a kind, friendly, and supportive neighbor to everyone who calls Woodbridge home. Sharon is truly irreplaceable, an amazing person inside and out. Thank you, Sharon, for all that you have done and continue to do for our great community. We are very fortunate to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi. Is this okay? Can you hear me?
Sure.
I have to grow a few feet. Okay, I'm Celeste Ricano, Colonia. Another environmental thing, yes. Okay, I'm here tonight to voice my environmental and health concerns over the proposed Williams Transco Northeast Supply Enhancement Project, otherwise known as NESE. It's a methane gas compressor station and pipeline. The project includes the construction of a new 32,000 two-engine methane gas-fired compressor station that will be built near the Trap Rock Quarry in Franklin Township. Along with the massive compressor station, there would be a 3.5 new miles of connecting methane gas pipeline that would go through Old Bridge, Sayreville, and South Amboy, and run 23 miles through the Raritan Bay and New York Harbor, putting New Jerseyans and our ecosystems in danger. New Jersey would not receive any energy or benefits from this project. New York will. Instead, we will be left with a compressor station and pipeline that would have permanent impacts on our communities. More than 2,000 homes with over 5,000 residents live within 1 mile from the site of the proposed compressor station 206. And perhaps you may recall when Congressman Pallone designated the Lawrence Harbor beachfront portion of the Old Bridge Waterfront Park as part of the Raritan Bay Slag Superfund, so that cleanup of this area could proceed. Approving William Transco's dirty permits would invalidate all the work he and others have done in the cleanup of the Raritan Bay. Since long-buried, contaminated sediment, disrupted because of the dredging that would be needed for this pipeline, would release over 1 million tons of toxins into the Raritan Bay. Since 2008, 10 Williams Transco's pipelines and compressor stations have exploded. These incidents have killed 6 people and injured 103 residents. In addition, the fires and/or explosions have released methane into the atmosphere, leveling buildings and contaminating groundwater. As you know, methane gas is over 80 times more polluting as it is released into the atmosphere than CO2. And the increase in ground level ozone emitted through travel would travel for miles, thereby impacting our nearby Woodbridge Township communities. A coalition of 28 environmental and 20 advocacy organizations have opposed this project successfully for almost a decade. Each time, the New Jersey DEP has denied Williams Transco the necessary permits to build this toxic compressor station and pipeline. And it's appalling that Williams Transco has again reopened their unchanged application. The New Jersey DEP must deny these permits again, as they have in the past, and stop this project once and for all. So I'm urging Woodbridge Township residents to join the 22 municipalities already opposing this unnecessary project. You're invited to speak out at the virtual air permit hearing on November 13th from 5:30 to 9:30. It'll be available on the Micro Teams platform. Also, would you please send a message to Governor Murphy to say no to Nessie, and also submit a written comment to the New Jersey DEP. And I have an informative flyer with me on the proposed Nessie project for the council to review. It's not a resolution, it is a informative flyer, so if it's okay. And I have it for
If you're done,
other
yeah.
people. I don't know if I'm able to
Go
get
ahead,
out to
you
other
give it.
people too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, Christina, Jansen Avenue in Avenel. So I just wanted to bring up a concern. On August 18th at 1:37 in the morning, our car was broken into, and those people have yet to be found that we're aware of, because I think that we would have gotten a call. They broke into our car, took maybe $20 or so, so nothing of, importance, but to feel violated in my own home, like even though it was outside, is very unfair to me, and to our family. Now, granted, our alarm was not off our alarm was not on because we had to turn it off. It was going off 3 times, 4 times an hour, and where it is stationed is right below my bedroom window. Regardless, I should be able to feel safe. Whereas after that incident, I was constantly checking my phones, every notification that came from our alarm, and that's I shouldn't have to feel scared about that. It's not right. Months before, the reason why we got the alarm is because it had happened where they tried to open the car door, the front door, and the alarms went off. I'm not sure if it's the area that we're in where we're located next to a bunch of motels and whatever suspicious individuals are living there. Regardless, we should be able to feel safe in our community. We should, if we forget for whatever reason to lock our door, we should be able to have our stuff still there in the morning. So I just wanted to bring that to your concern.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Good evening, all. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I got my timer.
State your name and the area, township, or state you live in, please.
Yes, John Kozlowskis, Woodbridge proper.
Thank you.
Sure. Appreciate the microphone and the increased audibility. 2 things I just wanted to briefly touch on. I had brought something to the attention of Mr. Coughlin there regarding the smart meter concern and the monthly charge. Left a message with the office. I haven't really heard anything. I know there's a resolution by somebody in North Jersey to fight on the additional like $10 or $12 a month. But not everybody wants to be in the smart monitoring program for those. So I haven't really heard anything back. I was concerned. I know that doesn't fall on you. I do appreciate you taking the time to listen and talk about it.
It falls on me. It's my responsibility. I'll be happy to talk with you.
Appreciate it. I did reach out to Mr. Pallone several times, or his office for that matter. I know that's not for this forum here, but he never got back to me, so I don't know. I'm assuming maybe it's tough. Maybe the last time he updated his phone system was in like 93 or 94 when he came into office, so I get that.
I'm sorry, real quick, if you want to get us the information, we'll make sure
I
his
appreciate
office
it.
gets it.
I appreciate it. It is a concern, and there are a lot of people that are affected by that. The second thing, though, I talked a lot, and I didn't really have I spoke a lot about energy last week. I didn't really form my statement in a question. I just kind of rambled through it, so for that, I apologize. I was a little nervous, had a lot of data, and it was just floating around. So anyways, I don't want to give you a whole litany here. Basically, touching back on the energy. We used to be, in New Jersey, a net exporter of energy. and I discussed how we are now in a shortage of that. And you did acknowledge that. We talked about that a little bit. There was a plant that was supposed to go up in Keesby. So I looked into that, and I appreciate that. It was a plan for a 650 megawatt plant, which would have replaced, I think, the one down in Lawrence. Yeah, there was one in Hudson that was coal, and then another one, a nuclear, which is underrated, in Oyster Creek. That would have replaced one of those. The interesting thing is that would have powered like 600,000 homes. We have an energy shortage now, and I don't know about you guys, paying a lot more now. I mean, we feeling it? Energy affects everything. It affects the food prices, it affects clothing, it affects labor, and of course the energy bill. So I get it. I understand now. I've heard some talk about some relief being handed out, like $100, $200, and that's nice. It's a nice sentiment. I'm not saying this. Some might say this. That seems like an election year stunt because you're not really fixing the problem. All right. The problem is the shortage of energy. New Jersey closed a lot of power plants. We need another power plant. I hear a lot of headlines about things that sound great, like sustainability, and we're getting rid of coal and carbon dioxide, which is the building block of plant life, which gives us oxygen. But the problem is we're not getting a solution, right? There's a lot of talk about this, and diversifying the portfolio is important, okay? Just like an investment. You can't rely on one thing. So what I'm saying is there was a public hearing on this on February 28th, 2023. So I looked into it, and that's how I found out it was a 650 megawatt power plant, which again, by no means is that a small one. But interestingly enough, that was the plan as I was told. And about a week later, on March 6, 2023, a plan was unveiled, and there was a patch article, that publication, the patch, a week later that there was a different plan for that site, and there were renderings, and it was a big sexy park, and it was looking nice. And the thing is, how in the world can we go from our plan for this site is energy and a power plant, which takes a long time to fund and a long time to build, to a public park within a week? Now, I know some really great people in the private sector that can throw that together really quick and do some nice renderings, but a week by any standard is very fast. So I'm just curious how that was, and if you do want to make the argument about solar, I think solar's cool, if that's what you want. But in order to match that power, I think I did the math last time, to even just get 1,000 megawatts, you need like 40 giant panels per household. So that's not even totally reliable. If you want to talk about pollution, some of the materials used to make those, and I have a whole list here, they're not the best, and we import a lot of it too. So you're basically just shifting, numbers from one side of the ledger to the other. So my question is, maybe perhaps on a local level, how can we start influencing this so we can get it on a state level? All right, 20 seconds.
Council President, the site where the power plant would have gone if it was approved by the state and the park where it is now been built and waiting to open are two completely different sites. So nobody went from building a power plant to building a park in a week.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I did have a patch article that did say that there was...
That doesn't mean anything to me. It's incorrect if that's what that said.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, my name is Christine, and I'm going to touch up on Christina's conversation. Just to let you know that we're on Jensen Avenue. We're just a block away from the hotels and so on. October 7th or 9th, it was broad daylight, 2:30 in the afternoon, and some young man had came over and helped himself into someone's car. They had their tools and it was open, the car. Helped themselves to grabbing a grinder, 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm there all day, and I see all these different individuals that are running, throughout this street, and it's very uncomfortable. I don't know if they're coming from the hotels, if they're coming from Quick Check, or wherever they're coming from. They don't, the park, I'm not really sure where they're coming from, but it's very uncomfortable to see these individuals, and especially as they're walking down, they're scoping out people's homes. I mean, I had one yesterday where, you know, it was a couple, and this guy, he had a shopping cart, but he was just looking around, and there wasn't food in the shopping cart. There were things, and I was wondering, okay, should I stay because maybe he's gonna start grabbing things from properties? You know, that's what it looked like, and it felt like. So we're just here to see if there could be any kind of help, you know, around this area. Now, you know, me looking up online, I say, you know, what's the level in the crime in Avenel? Spot on. We're in the right smack middle of where it's a high crime. And I've lived here since 2017, and I don't like living here anymore, and I shouldn't have to feel that way. I like living in New Jersey, and I like where I'm living, but unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable where I'm living, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Paul Lund, Hope Lawn.
Evening.
Last time I was here, I did bring up a few issues over development, increased crime, and Mr. Mayor, you did assure us that crime is not increased in Woodbridge, but there is a perception, and there's obviously obvious cases of criminal activity. There's a sense of lawlessness. We've seen people speeding on Pennsylvania Avenue like it's no tomorrow. We saw 20, 30 kids on motor scooters, like weaving in and out of cars. If it's not an actual crime tick upward, it certainly feels like it. And perception oftentimes is even more important sometimes in reality. As far as the solar scheme, I want to speak to that. Solar credits in 2012, the first round of solar credits peaked at $680 a credit. And now the second generation of solar credits is down to $85. It's fixed. The promise that I got in the mail, and because it was my ward representative, it was Howie signed it, the mayor signed it, promised next year we might see a 31% discount, not on the total bill, on the $85 credit. So we might save $25 next year. The problem with that is that, for example, Mikey Sherrill says, oh, we're going to lock in rates. That's our one big economic plan for the state of New Jersey. We're going to lock in those utility rates. The problem is you're not addressing the underlying pricing pressures that are pushing that up. As the gentleman said, we're 20% off our peak energy, base load energy, since we decommissioned Oyster Creek, since we didn't do necessary upgrades on power plants that were generated by natural gas. And we're trying to replace it with intermittent, unreliable energy. The wind farms off in New Jersey, to say the least, are not going to meet that need. They're very expensive, very unreliable, and yet Mikey Sherrill, after a parting gesture from Governor Murphy, was to keep $100 million in the budget to keep wind, chasing wind alive. She's going to pick up where he left off. So we save 25 maybe next year, and then have another 20% increase next year, because we're not replacing base load energy. And you're sending that to folks that are on tight budgets. You're sending it to the elderly. I tried to get an explanation from the president a few sessions ago. He said, oh, it's obvious, you just read the letter. No, I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. It requires a little more explanation, a little more care than that. As far as Ms. McAuliffe, I like Ms. McAuliffe. We've patronized her shop, my wife and I. It's not a question of whether she's nice and does good things for the town. And if she's the preferred vendor for bagels for any municipal events, I can't begrudge that. The only concern I have is it open? Is there competition allowed to sometimes cater to these programs? You know, it would, maybe it's right that if you serve the town should serve you as well. I don't know. I don't know all the particulars. Again, I like you. You're a good person. I like Howie, former neighbor around the corner. My concern is always when you're in a machine politics town, when you have a mayor appointing everyone on the board, everyone on the planning board, you're going to run into the problem of corruption, perhaps, political patronage, influence peddling like happens in the state legislature. These are the concerns. I don't care if I get in this election cycle. I just want to see the 21,000 people that voted for Trump last time have representation, balanced representation in this town. Now, I wrote in the Patch article things I like about Woodbridge. Walking the nature trail, the county did a good job there. And having every road out of Woodbridge to go to towns that are really cool to hang out in, like Ocean Grove, High Point. Woodbridge is my home for 62 years, but it don't feel like a town anymore. It feels more like a city with all the problems of a city, but none of the benefits of the city. I overstate that. I like the concerts too. Now again, Mayor McCormick is a competent, intelligent individual. No one ever disputes that. But is his character, is his honesty, is he serving us or is he serving special interests more than us? Is the developers that get a tax break more important to him, or are the residents that are beleaguered by tax increases more important to him?
Hey,
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Christy Hansen, Woodbridge. Thank you for bringing the microphone back so that we can hear everyone again. I appreciate that very much. I'm just here to thank the Woodbridge Animal Society and all their hard work that they've done and their commitment to come here and speak to you all every single week. I'm an animal lover. I have 3 cats, and I totally support that the township should definitely try to do more to assist them in their quest for TNR in Woodbridge. It is a program that's proven to work in other neighborhoods. It helps the public health, quality of life, and I sincerely hope that you will hear them and do as much as you can to support them. And again, we appreciate it. I appreciate it, all their efforts. So thank you, Woodbridge Animal Society, and thank you, Council, for listening. Have a good night.
thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Bruce Panko, Avenel, New Jersey. I was going to bury the axe on some of my agendas, as Mr. Councilman Anderson told me I should have. But when I come to a council meeting and some of my words are taken out of context by the mayor, it bothers me. Last month, he assumed that I was against what the council makes as a salary, which wasn't what I was asking. I was asking what the process was on how to get the salaries. 2 weeks ago, he says I was disparaging the council on what they do, and I was just asking, just saying that you guys pick and choose what you want to do. And if I had more time last week, I just wanted to say that everybody on the council does, some do more than others, and Debbie, me and you actually do the most on there. I didn't get to tell you that last week. Mr. President, I don't understand, are you putting on a show here? Because when I talk to you on the phone, we talk like human beings, and the last few weeks, it just seemed like you were talking down to some of the speakers. I don't understand why, but that's the feeling I got, and I hope that, that doesn't continue. Now, the mayor said that he feels that Main Street traffic has been less from 10 years ago. Does anybody on the council disagree with that? With that said, no matter, it just feels like the council agrees, no matter if it's the fact or not the fact, with the mayor every time. And the taxpayers are spending over $250,000 for you to agree on everything the mayor says, if it's right or wrong. I feel like the traffic is getting ridiculous, but the damage is done, and we just have to make the best of it right now. Now, I thought that the area where Sprout went up, the traffic was going to be better. If the traffic lights are in sync, it works. But sometimes the traffic lights are not in sync, and it's backed up forever. And what the people are now doing there's a right-hand lane, there's a lane in the right-hand side for making right-hand turns, and what they're doing now is they go up to the traffic light and they're merging in when they're supposed to be making a left, and that's causing a lot of traffic also. So that's all I have to say right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hello, Mr. President. Ken Gardner, 101 Scoter Avenue, Woodbridge. First, on a nice note, I just want to thank the residents of Woodbridge and Seawarren. I've been going door to door for the last several months talking about the campaign in the township, and people have been great, welcoming, and honest as well. So not that everyone's agreed with me 100% of the time, but they've gave me great insight, and I've tried to represent their point of view as well. In tonight's meeting, I believe Councilwoman McAuliffe abstained on the bill list. Mr. President, can you tell me how much the bill list is tonight?
Yeah. The total bill listed was $501,887,000. The supplemental was $51,310. Like I said the last meeting, you're more than welcome to open anything. Right.
Okay. And in fact, she did abstain at last month's meeting, or the last council meeting, I should say, as well. And that bill list was about $2 million. I'm assuming that she's abstaining because there are bills in there for her business. So I just want to be clear, this is not about the cost of a few bagels, even though those bills, may have been for $1,000 for the business or something. That's not the point. The point is now she's abstaining on a major part of her responsibility. It's great that the council's involved. I've said this before. Many of you belong to many different civic activities and do many great things. I've not taken that away from anybody here. The Republicans that I'm running with are also great people as well. We all care about the town. It's not about that. It's about, are we doing the whole job? It's not just about ribbon cutting and going to sporting events. It's about voting on a bill list. I think the councilwoman's abstained on over $40 million in bills. And that's part of her major responsibility. The budget as well. There's a discussion, Mr. Banco brought up council salaries, and he was told, well, it wasn't voted on. Well, the council salaries are part of the budget. The mayor's making $211,000 a year. His chief of staff is making $234,000 a year. They're all part of the township budget. And if everybody just votes yes on the budget and doesn't question any of these things, nothing gets solved. We need to go back. We need to look at everything. We need to go back to zero-based budgeting. Not that the town, I'm not saying the township does not do many great things. I'm not saying the council people don't do some great things. What I'm saying is we need to look at it. Our people are struggling to pay the property taxes. They've been complaining about it consistently for years. And I think we should go back to zero-based budgeting and take a look at every dollar that we spend. Let's reevaluate every community project that we did. Specific to our police department, do we still have what is called community policing? To you, Mr. President, to the director, whoever you'd like to answer.
We definitely do have a community policing unit.
We have a community.
I'll direct it to Director Newsom. Yes.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit more to me, how that's different, what we do in a community policing program?
Well, we have two detectives that are assigned to our community policing unit, and they participate in a wide range of assignments. Is there anything in particular?
Okay. Well, that's a good enough answer for me. Thank you for the time, Mr. President. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the council?
John Rotaric, Woodbridge. I guess you just heard it. 4 detectives,
Please don't touch the mic,
24
sir.
square miles.
Please don't touch the mic, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Well, we said for years and years, unfortunately, what we said is going to happen, it did happen. Not for good, it happened for bad. I always said, don't follow Newark, don't follow Elizabeth, don't follow Petamboy. And we did, and look what we are now today. We are not blind. Those people are not stupid. We know what we're doing. We try to hold on and support everybody, do everybody. No matter what we did, no matter how much money you raised, you will spend more. And what we got, all those things people talked over here, It's not just their responsibility to take care of the animals. The people that came to this town too, they brought animals with them. Now they can keep them, so they get rid of them. Who's responsible for us? This is all because what happened to this town. Don't tell me there's no traffic. Don't tell me there's no speeding all over here. It's all happening. And what we do? Well, let's do it. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. Yes, it's going to get better. Where? Not in Woodbridge. Why are we giving in to certain people that benefit by this and our miseries over here? Those people that created this thing, they don't live in Avenel, they don't live in Woodbridge. They're outsiders. They just used us like any other town, like cities. They don't live in a town. So we have carried the burden for their mistakes. Warehouses, all those other stocks, all those garbage dumps they're building to us. Yes. They're making money. Why other communities does not allow it? The gentleman brought up at the power plant in Casby. No, they didn't walk away from there because they just changed their mind, because they were creating lots of contaminants. The mayor cannot open a park in in Casby, because it's contaminated. They don't want to tell you that. There's no way to open the park. It can't be done. You can't put people on contaminated soil, but it's so bad. Place like now happened on Smith Street in Pertamboy, Casby. That was all created years ago back, mistake was made. Engineering, design, why all those things? It's not good for the public. Traffic is bad, education is going down, and I could tell you, oh, we are making millions of dollars from pilot programs. Those pilot programs, they do for 30 years plus. Did anybody know what they mean? They don't support our schools. They don't support our fire department. We gotta support them. They created those things. They created more firemen, more equipment, the schools, because the people moving in the area, those apartments. Talk to other mayors of the other towns. Never heard one say yet. They give up abatements or pilot programs to residential buildings, such as apartment. Woodbridge is the only one. And then he said, I'll give a 24% of pilot programs money to the schools, and you pay 65%. Why doesn't it turn around? Money comes to pilot programs because they're supposed to not burden it to the town. They just sit there, the big warehouses, those apartments. Why don't you turn around and give 64%, 65% to schools? They give 24% for you, whatever you want to spend, tiki bars and things like that. We are in trouble. Let's wake up. Just don't listen to it for many years. Same BS, and how far we got. People laugh at us. You go to the communities, they make fun of us. I'm fortunate enough to a place outside a different area in the state. People look at us like we are just why? Why are we doing this? How come we don't stand up? Well, people leave. They don't want to stand up and fight. They don't have patience. They don't feel feeling for the town. And they just leave. Thank you for listening again. Wake up and don't be afraid.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hello.
Evening.
My name is Tim Riley. I've been a resident of Woodbridge since 1985. And some of the things I've heard here tonight are not consistent with my 40 years living here. I live in Ward 1. I was the board president of Aspen Manor for 30 years, so I know a little bit about public service. I know a little bit about volunteer. And I know a little bit about people who want to serve, but they want to do it for themselves. Now, living in Ward 1, I had the pleasure of having got to know Charles Kenny, the fabulous Nancy Bader-Drum, and now Sharon. And I hear people saying these negative things. They're questioning the character of John McCormick. How can you do that? The people listening here, how can you question the character? You come up with facts, the last 4 speakers. When you come up with something, you say something negative about somebody, I want to hear a fact. And I heard no facts. To question his integrity, okay, mention the word corruption. They should just throw you the hell out of here. This is not the Woodbridge I know. Like I said, I was the board president for 30 years. I met John when he first was starting to run for mayor, okay? And he came to Aspen Manor, and we had a whole room full. And people were asking questions left and right. And the mayor's up there. Quality of life issues, real issues, that's a real issue. And I would say within a week, maybe 2 weeks, these were addressed. Building 16 burns down to the studs. The mayor helped. Coordinated with the building department. We have a great building department. He coordinated with the building department and made sure that we had clear sailing to get the things done that we needed to get done. There was a situation where the trucking company is on Aspen Lane, they were going to put a 500-unit apartment building. The mayor came to me with Charles Kennedy and said, hey, they meet all the requirements, okay, but it's not good for the township. We're going to have to spend a lot of money for, the traffic will be unbelievable on that end of town. So I met with them, Ray Lesniak's firm, and they're used to operating with mom and pop boards. Well, they got a surprise, right? My background is Price Waterhouse, Ernst & Young, the controller of companies, restructured companies. I know what I'm talking about, and I know that he knows what he's talking about. And I know when I meet somebody like Charlie, like Nancy, like Sharon, we got to support these people because they support us. Sharon has a phone line where she takes questions and issues from everybody in the town. She's got as much energy as Nancy Beta Drum, which is saying something for all the people who knew Nancy. She's incredible.
1 minute, sir.
So she's a businesswoman. She knows finance, she knows operations. She's always there for the community, but she didn't look for this job. Right? She didn't even want to be it. She's Nancy's friend. She would like Nancy to be here right now. But what she did was she picked up the mantle and she continued the good work. And she does all these things. And just when I hear these people say these things, because sometimes they said them about me. Okay? Of course, I don't take that too well, and I respond. But here, they're so professional. Right? Me, not so much. Right? I call you on the spot, like I'm calling you right now. So anyway, support Sharon. She's unbelievable.
Thank you, sir.
And
Are there any other comments from the public this evening? Hearing no other comment, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll go into the agenda session.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Before we go to the agenda session, a couple notes. To the residents from Jansen Avenue, I want to thank you for coming out. As always, it's great that you bring it up at a council meeting. You don't have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I will say this about Jansen Avenue. Director Niski, if I'm wrong, please correct me. By virtue of some of the complaints that we've gotten over many years regarding some of the business establishments along the Route 1 corridor, which that's one of our top priorities, is the redevelopment of that corridor. That's probably one of the biggest areas that has the most special checks, the most monitoring by traffic enforcement unit. You could be driving home tonight and there would be somebody there from PD and you wouldn't even know it. So just to give you a little update on that. Regarding the one resident that feels I was talking down to him, it's certainly absolutely not my intention at all to talk down to anybody. With that said, if somebody comes to the council meeting after they have been given the correct information on numerous times, and they still go to the microphone and purposely present misinformation to the residents to work to their advantage for whatever reason, I'm going to correct them. So if somebody feels I'm talking down to them, I am absolutely not. I'm going to correct misinformation when they've been told over and over and over again. And as far as agrees with the mayor, we don't agree with the mayor at all the time. We don't agree with administration. We don't agree with each other at times. We don't just talk once every 2 weeks. We talk to each other every day. We communicate. That's what makes us the best team around, so thank you very much. Mayor, okay. Moving down to our agenda, I'll start with item number 2, Avenel Arts Village. Check out all the many great shows APAC, the Avenel Performing Arts Center, will be having, especially in the next 2 weeks. Back again at APAC is Willie Nile, up close and personal in a night of songs and stories, alone on stage with a guitar and piano. Artists Bono, Bruce Springsteen, Pete Townshend, Lou Reed, Lucinda Williams, Jim, and Little Steven are among those who have sung his praises. The show is Saturday, November 1st at 7:30. Willie Nile has performed several times at Darrell's House Club in New York, which is owned by Darrell Hall of Hall & Oates. Also come see Corey Glover of Living Color on Halloween, October 31st at 7:30. Best known as the electrifying frontman of the legendary Grammy Award-winning band Living Color, Corey Glover has launched an exciting new project, The Soul Experience, featuring Corey Glover. Exciting shows happening at APAC, and enjoy a pre-show meal at Caroline's, which is located right next door. The rest of my agenda is in order. Just one announcement. Next Friday is Halloween. Please remember that our roads will have plenty of trick-or-treaters on there, so please be careful. God bless America. Council Vice President McAuliffe.
Thank you, Council President. First, I'd like to thank everyone who's come out to support me over the last few council meetings and is here to support me to hopefully bring me through to a win on November 4th. I thank you and I appreciate all your support. I'd like to go through my agenda. Number 1, downtown Woodbridge, we are having our first annual Trunk or Treat on Main Street this Thursday from 5 to 7. Put on your costumes and come out and join the fun. There'll be candy for everyone. Number 2, the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce on November the 15th from 11 to 3 will be holding their second annual book fair. This is a very exciting event that will be happening at Ross Street School. This is a free event. It's an opportunity for you to come out and meet local authors and purchase and look at the books that they have available for you to peruse. Excuse me. Then I have number 3, which is Seawarn. It's not too early to get ready for the holiday spirit. This year's Seawarn tree lighting will take place on December the 4th. So please mark your calendars. Stay tuned for more exciting details. It's always a festive community favorite. The Seawarn Library has a program. If you're interested in knitting or crochet, come join fellow crafters to share the technique, creativity, and conversation in this welcoming setting. Visit the Seawarn website for more details and dates on when this happens. Just a couple updates about what's going on in town. As I said in the last council meeting, street paving is happening all over. Please keep an eye out in your mail for the letters letting you know when the street paving will be happening. And yes, you will be able to park in different locations if you have permit parking, so feel free that you will not be ticketed when you park someplace else. The community center has the Haunted Mini Golf that's going on through the end of the month. Visit the community center's website for times and pricing. And the Halloween blow-up contest is still going on. Minimum of 4 blow-ups are required. You have to submit your entry by November the 1st, and you go onto the township website for the details and registration. And on Saturday, we will be having a DVRT walk, which is a walk against domestic violence. This Saturday at 9 a.m., join the DVR team for the walk, starting from Town Hall parking lot to help raise awareness and support the victims of domestic violence. That's all I have today. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Council Vice President McAuliffe. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I have no announcements tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Bauer. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. Number 3 on my agenda for Oregon Fire and EMS on October 28th from 6 to 7:30 will be the annual trunk or treat. All are welcome. And just around the corner, I started announcing it in July, but here we are, November 29th, our annual Woodbridge Township Light Parade. Bigger and better than ever. It grows every year. Kicking off at 6 o'clock right on Main Street. And you can look on the town website to see where the parade, it's been the same route for the last few years, but we also included estimated times. We know people sometimes have some people over, some parties, so you can pretty much base when the parade's going to hit your area. That's all I have, Mr. President. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Small. Councilwoman DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. First, I would like to congratulate our Woodbridge Police Department on a successful Coptoberfest. Then I want to move down to the library. The library is hosting an AARP, the American Association of Retired Persons, will present a program on public benefits for older persons at the main library Wednesday, October 29th at 1 p.m. Again, the speaker will give an overview of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Affordable Connectivity Program, Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, Medicare Savings Programs, and the Medicare Extra Help Plan. Again, this is at the main library on Wednesday, October 29th at 1 p.m. And then I just want to say something about community policing. It's on my agenda, and it is one of the most fantastic programs that our Woodbridge Police Department has. The 2 detectives visit all of our schools, and they do what community policing says, forming relationships within the community. And I think it's so important, especially to visit our schools, because we want the young men and women in our school districts to know our police officers, to have positive interaction with our police officers, to just know that they're our friends and that they're there to help, not only with our youth, but they visit all of our senior centers. They go to all of our events. So they are doing what they're supposed to do. They are part of our community by attending all of our events. And they are doing a fantastic job, just in case anybody has any doubt about it. If you want to come and talk to me about it, I'll be more than willing and happy to talk to you about it. But the Community Police Department, community policing, they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they do a great job at it. That is all that I have to say. Thank you.
All said, Councilwoman DeJesus. Thank you. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to back up with that, too. Community affairs and policing, they really help us when we have issues with neighbors and we can't handle the issues ourselves. They go out and they talk to the neighbors, and they really do so much for our community. So that program is really vital to our community. My agenda is in order. I just want to thank everybody that came out to join us for our annual Colonia Breast Cancer Walk and Charity Oktoberfest. Despite the weather, both events were a huge success. Thank you to all the volunteers, especially the Colonia VFW, that not only cooked all day and shopped and set up the day before, they stayed up late to clean up. My amazing group of friends who worked all day long nonstop, even before the event. It takes a lot of time to do these events. Joe Canals for supplying the wine. My council mates, Howie Bauer and Brian Small, who sponsored our beer truck and served our guests all day. And Councilman Dan Harris, who served all our guests soft drinks and sponsored that. And Sharon McCall, who stayed all day long and pretty much ran around and did everything I did. They spent their entire Saturday with me helping our community. So I really appreciate it. And my councilmates that couldn't be there, I know you had other things, but I know you supported our event. So thank you for that. And just thank you to everybody that attended, donated a basket, or simply walked in our breast cancer walk in support of all of those who have been touched by cancer. We had hundreds of walkers that day. And they say it takes a village, and it truly does. Also, thank you to Woodbridge PD and Colonia Fire Department, who led us down the Inman Avenue that day to keep all our walkers safe. The spirit of our community when they come together to support each other is unmatched. Thank you so much to everybody that helped these 3 families that day. It truly was a humbling day for them, and it mattered very much to those families to be showered in the love and kindness of our community. So thank you to everybody that helped. It really, truly mattered, and we were able to help them. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. As always, great job. Great event for a great cause. Thank you. Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just have a few items here. I just wanted to respond to one of the constituents who brought up how the pilot revenue doesn't benefit schools. I don't know how many times we have to continue to talk about this because it's such a good thing. It's a highlight. So I don't know how it could be misconstrued after all these years. But annually, the school district, the township contributes $7 million to the debt service that the school district has incurred as a result of the 2017 and 2020 bond referendum, where the school district borrowed about $145 million. They got about $13 million from the state and did not impact the school district budget. And with that $145 million, among other things, the school district was able to replace School 11, the second oldest school in the school district, and major additions onto Woodbridge Middle School, Avenel School 4 and 5, which was nearly completely replaced, and major additions onto School 25, School 28, as well as the leasing and subleasing of School 29, leased from the Catholic Church to the school district and undergone a rehabilitation. That enabled us to offer full-day kindergarten. So when I hear pilot revenue doesn't benefit the school district, it's really frustrating to hear that because it's simply not true. And the pilot revenue does support our school districts with no impact to the school district's regular operating budget. I just wanted to throw that out there in the event that there's any further confusion. I'd be happy to answer any questions after 12 and a half years working as a school board member, working with this administration and this council. I can answer any questions if there's any continued confusion or just general concerns or questions. Nextly, item number 2, I've repeated this number of times over the past couple of months, but the deadline is finally here. Halloween, October 31st, the deadline for constituents, whether you are a senior homeowner, senior renter, non-senior homeowner, is the deadline for the state's joint property tax relief applications, known as the PAS-1 or the ANC-1 for non-seniors. It's direct property tax relief that you could apply for. You could do that online at propertytaxreliefapp.nj.gov. You can fill that out at your leisure between now and next Friday, the 31st. Or you could call Senator Vitale in Speaker Coughlin's office if you need assistance or have any questions at 732-855-7441. And then 2 other quick shout outs here. Item number 5 from my Mayor's Wellness Committee that I have the privilege of chairing with some fabulous members of the community. We had a great meeting recently and launched, with the help of the Office of Sustainability, the Youth Leadership Council, and the Mayor's Office, we launched the Hit the Trail Passport Program, sponsored by Wegmans Supermarkets, where it encourages township residents to hit one of our 10 trails here in Woodbridge Township, whether that's the Middlesex County Greenway, one of the 4 county parks, or one of the high school tracks. There's an incentive to do it. If you complete 6 of the 10 trails using your passport that you can find here at Town Hall or at Wegmans, you could automatically win a Wegmans shopping bag, or you can be entered into win a prize at Wegmans, and those are gift cards. So that's an exciting opportunity. They'll keep your grocery bills down. So take a look into that. Again, those passports are located here at Town Hall or Wegmans. And finally, I had also mentioned this last meeting under item number 13 on my agenda, Township Communications. Each Friday, the mayor provides a 3 to 4 minute update of all kinds of things going on the weekend and the following week. Residents can sign up for this service free of charge. It's a automatic call to your phone on a Friday afternoon. It's known as Code Red. You just need to go to the township's website where you can sign up for it. It's located towards the top, the very far right, under the name Code Red. You can get that fantastic update. Thank you very much, Council President. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Councilman Harrison. Mr. Mayor, before I continue, I just forgot one thing, I'm sorry. Election day in 2 weeks. Residents in Avenel that use School 4 and 5, that's mostly 32, 35, 37, and 310. You will be able to normally use door 3 on South Inman Avenue, opposite Artistic Doors and Abbey Lumber. This year, you'll be able to access the school, since school is off, obviously. You can use the construction entrance that is located on South Inman Avenue directly across from Abbey Lumber's second warehouse. You're going to be looking for door 6, which leads you right to the new gym. Go vote, see the brand new gym. It's phenomenal. So just a reminder, it's door 6 next to the door. Thank you. Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple comments on item number one. With the police department, I may have one of these investigations wrapped up before your next meeting. I'll drop down to elections. I know last meeting I went over, just a reminder, everybody, vacation center opens this weekend. We'll stay open. Lucky him. Sunday. We'll early voting. In Middlesex County. Vacation center. That's not. I'm glad. It's only the mail-in ballot drop boxes are open. They'll remain open until 8 p.m. on election night. And again, that's at the main library as well as here at County. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Business Administrator, Mr. Samula.
Thank you, Council President. I have one item on my agenda this evening for resolution next meeting is the tax and sewer overpayment refunds. Thank you, Council President.
Sir, Police Director, Director Nissen.
Thank you, Council President. On my agenda, I have a handicap parking space to delete on Russell Street, and 2 handicap parking spaces to add, one on Main Street and one on Litchfield Road. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Planning and Development, Director Dorn.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Director. Public Works Director, Director Brewer.
Thank you, Council President. I have 2 items for resolution. The first one is the change order number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, and that was for contract 2014-11. That was underground utilities corporation, and that's an odor and corrosion control incorporated interceptor line. The second item I have is the NJDOT change order. Number 1 and 2, contract number 2021-19 for CPIS Incorporated, and that's for Route 9 Main Street.
Thank you, Director. Legal?
Nothing is
Thank you. Look for a motion.
Motion?
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy Halloween.